say her name, say their names, Brianna Taylor. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's doing well. It's so crazy how much 1 week can really affect you, you know. Hi, Margaret, welcome. Yes, Raquel, my star, actress, musical comedian, and facilitator of magic, Raquel Palmas. Yes. Yes. Oh, hey, guys, welcome. Nice to see you here, ERC.
Hi,
Hey,
Mama.
Raquel, my lady.
How are
You're
you,
wearing
beautiful?
some beautiful florals, I see.
Oh my God, I was like, any reason to throw on a dress?
True.
Any reason
True.
to go out? I mean, this is going out in the 21st century. So hello.
Out into the living room.
I know, this is my bedroom. I'm like, yeah, I've got an event.
You do. I mean, anything recorded on camera, I would say is an event, you know.
There you go. How are you, my love? What's going on?
Good. I'm good. How are you? We met at the coffee shop.
Oh, yes.
And
yeah.
I love that. That's the best coffee in the world.
I appreciate it. Come by anytime. I don't know that address, but it is called Kookaburra. You know, I don't want to give the address.
No, don't give the address. It's a great,
you know,
but it's good coffee.
Or follow Christina to talk about where the coffee shop is.
Yeah, no, I probably talk about it every episode for the last 37 episodes.
That's so funny. It's great because I do feel like we are providing sanity for some people.
Yeah, because from the beginning of COVID, you had the measures going, you know, and it was my sanity. It still is my sanity, right?
Yeah, I do feel like it is my own personal. I started working there because I missed the human interaction. I missed the performance of just being of service.
Well, and that's what performers do, is they work in coffee shops or restaurants or movie theaters, and we can't do most of those things right now.
Right. So I feel very fortunate to be able to help people whenever I can.
Thank you for my fix and my pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah, of course. And thank you for the conversations. We have a long-winded conversations every time.
I know. I won't even mention the topics.
No, that's okay. They're few garbage. Yeah.
So from the beginning, I usually like to go back to when you were a little baby, Raquel.
Yeah, let's see.
You know, you were like this, wow, you know.
Yes.
When you were
on my mother's teeth, yes, of course.
Oh, congratulations! Not all of us had that privilege.
That is true. That is true.
But when you were a baby or very young girl, did you know you wanted to perform or be a performer?
Yeah, I think from the time I was a wee child, I was always writing music. I was always writing songs. I grew up in a very musical household, and I played, I think, TV a lot with my grandma in the front yard. So she would, you know, like an improv game almost. She'd like change the channel, and then I'd be like, "Oh, good evening."
That's so cute. Oh my God.
Yeah, and my family, I love to say that I have a musical family because my dad would play records in the basement, and he still does. And then my grandma and her sisters were in a traveling musical group. Wow. Called the Hamilton Sisters. So again, and they wrote their own music and traveled, but then they kind of aged out of it and, you know, all went on to have realistic careers.
Well, what's realistic? Let's rephrase.
You know.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, in the quotes, realistic careers. Yeah, or just got married. You know, that was I think the age of when they were performing. You know, carried with it certain restraints about women and what their roles were and what they were supposed to be doing. And so having kids and getting married was the next step, as they weren't hitting as quickly, I guess, or as, you know, vigorously as they had thought they would. But they still continued writing and making music with each other, and then also teaching kids. So then my grandma taught theater in the elementary school that I went to. So she ran the theater program, which was upsetting because I could never have a lead because it would be nepotism. So I was always about
it. True. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. You can't cast your granddaughter as the lead, even though I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Right.
come on, Grandma.
I'm like, get it together, Grandma. Come on. No, but it was really fun, and honestly, like, pretty eye-opening too to the process, I guess, of like organizing or choreographing or anything, of getting the pieces together and what it actually took to even make productions happen.
So your grandma was a big influence for you.
Oh, for sure. She still is. My grandma's my first best friend, like at 6 years old, but like having fake tea parties, being like la-di-da-di-da. Her energy and her vibe was always like, my chippies come to me, was like a quote that she used to say to me, to be like, you attract powerful energy and your people come to you. You don't go to them, which I, depends on what's going on.
Yeah, well, balance is important, but
it's like, but she's a Leo. She's a fire. Her hair is red. You know what I mean? She's
really fine. Wow.
Yeah,
Wait, so what does chippies mean though?
I think all my chippies, like all my people, all the people I like associate with, and like my entourage of people.
I like that. I want to use that to.
In a current sense, my grandma's a bad bitch. Like I won't.
You need to do a video with her soon.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. She would.
Because TikTok loves the grandma. You know what I mean?
I could see that. Oh, I would love that. She unfortunately has had a stroke and had cancer, so she's like very, like has a lot of the
able. Not as able.
Or I was gonna say like pre-existing conditions. I think she's hopefully getting a COVID shot soon. So I haven't really been able to like hang out with her and see her in the capacity, obviously, that we would have. But we'll figure it out.
I bless her, and she'll be good with those positive positive attitude. Let's pray for her. What's her name anyway?
Oh, Joyce. Her name is Joyce.
Grandma Joyce, we got you. You're in our hearts.
And show you a picture, but I'll show you a picture when you come by the coffee shop.
I know, we could have so many. So I have a few questions about your. So I have so many questions. Really, is the problem.
Yeah, no worries.
Favorite. I'm gonna bounce around. So favorite films and television.
Okay, favorite television. I feel like I bounce around, but at the moment I love Veep. I love anything that's like quick comedy. I love Parks and Rec. I'm a big like quirky comedy, blind optimist kind of girl. So I feel like that is where the comedy goodness and TV land lies for me right now. Loving all of that. Favorite films. I love a good B movie. So like like a Miss Congeniality, or like any sort of like badass like coming
rom-com
movie, rom-com, Legally Blonde, like any kind of. They're B movie. They're not like 100% like winning Oscars, but I love a good B movie that's got a solid plot and a kiss at the end.
Did you see Idiocracy?
No, I haven't seen Idiocracy.
It's good. It's very
I
timely.
just will say too, to let you know, I don't know if we ever divulged into it. I was gonna say vulged, and I was like, that's not a word, but it is now. No, I started in theater. Like, theater is my background, and that is what I went to school for. So now, in the COVID times, I am making a slight departure and working more in film and in television land. So we're working.
So how old you were? How old were you when you started theater, you said?
I've been performing, I guess, in the theater world, I guess since I was like 14. Yeah, just going on auditions, doing community theater, traveling, going places, performing.
Really? Traveling? That's cool.
Yeah, so like the full backstory, I guess, of the theater pursuits is that I went to school for theater, then started doing improv, and then got kind of trapped up in the whirl of musical improv, which is its own subsect. This is how musical comedy kind of formed for me. And I had seen a friend of mine in England like performing, and I was like, how are you doing that? I want to do that. And then found a group and like auditioned and worked with them, and then I was just touring a bunch, teaching and performing musical improv and musical comedy, which is
teaching it too. So you're just like, I love this stuff. Let me share it with the world.
Yeah, well, like comedic timing, song structure, you're like improvising with a full band and a full group of people, and then you're building a narrative. So the way it works is like you'd give me a suggestion of a musical title of anything at all, and then me and a group of performers would improvise an entire musical. But you know, we would
with
have
a
our
full band. That's cool.
Yeah, with a full band and like, you know, drums, piano, and a guitar usually is like the bass, but then occasionally we'd have like a horn in there and it's like, ooh.
Right.
And we're just making it up and choreographing it. It literally, you're like flying by the seat of your pants and your heart. You're like, I trust what I'm saying, and I trust whoever I am with will also like meet me wherever my energy is, or they know my brain enough to know where I'm going with this next move. And it's really a beautiful mess, but people really love it. And then there's like a niche nerd community that also I think geeks out about and knows all of the history too of just like improv comedy, and everyone's like, oh, SNL and stuff, you know, but it's all its own little subsect. And there's so much and so many pockets of improv like in the world too, that when I started doing it, I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was possible. I didn't even know there's so many people who do that.
Right,
also,
you just know improv as an umbrella, right?
But I also think it's predominantly like male, white, cis, you know, like a lot of industries. And so.
Oh, really?
No, tell me more.
No.
So it's been really fun, I think, to be able to like ruffle those feathers a little bit and talk about like where we could change it, or where there's room to be like, you know, this is not that it's not hard, but I'm like, this doesn't have to be that serious. Let's invite new faces in. Let's teach more people how to do this art form, because it's very fun and also like spiritually freeing.
Yeah, no, it's all performance is freeing, but improv is the foundation. Like all, agents and casting directors are looking for improv experience on a resume. Every one of them.
Yeah, well, hi.
Yeah.
Well, nice to meet you.
And I'm ready when you are, right?
Hey, what's up?
Well, what kind of,
yeah.
I was gonna say, what kind of performance you looking into?
I mean, right. Yeah. What do you got for me? Anything. I'm ready at the helm. I was gonna say, what about you? What TV shows and things? I don't know. Is this how it works? Am I supposed to not? Can I ask you questions? What is now?
It's about you, my lady. I know it's weird because in person we riff, but it's just let me just keep asking you 1,000 questions.
Go for it. Okay, go for it.
So you're a writer, a songwriter?
I am a songwriter, yeah. I do have a bunch of songs ready to roll. Actually,
but you don't want to sing them?
I don't want to sing them. I mean, I think right now, at least in COVID, I'm working on producing them and making sure they sound right, and then releasing some music videos and things. I got an EP that I'm plugging along at, and some music. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess it's like a back and forth of a balance. I don't want to put anything out until I feel like it's again ready to be released into the world. It's something I'm like, oh, I'm very precious about these things.
But then it'll never get released. Yeah.
There you go. That is true. That is true.
I know, because I'm the same way. I've been singing for many years, and I have all these things written down. And I'm a singer, right? But where's my album, right?
Yeah.
Where's my album?
Well, yeah, I was very thankful. So like I got to go. I was blessed enough to get to go on a trip and like mentally go away for a little bit and come back and quarantine and be safe. And then friends of mine had reached out to me and were like, hey, do you want to shoot this thing? And I honestly, more on songwriting and things. So over the course, I feel like of quarantine too, I have been doing more like musical comedy and like writing it down. Cause with improv, at least it's like, once you do it, the audience is like, that was amazing, but it's in the ether. And like, unless you remember a hook or a song or a verse, like it's gone. You'll never see it again, which we love about theater. But also, again, it's like, well, you'll never have your album together if you're not writing things down. I don't know what that voice is that like authoritatively.
Who is she?
Like, like, okay.
Miss Pettigrew or something.
Yeah, she's a drama teacher that I once had. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, she's oh yes, the odds. We've all had her at least once in our lives.
True.
But yeah, so I've been, again, plugging away at it. There are a few like COVID comedy songs I wrote. And then I also got to do a project with some students in musical theater from NYU who were working on like Creativity is Not Canceled. So we had like a whole song launch that happened that was about a young woman who had fallen for someone but couldn't tell if they were breaking up or if he really did have COVID, which I thought was very funny.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, and then most recently I released this music video with a group of friends about a night bitch, that alter ego that lives inside of us.
I'm going to show that, and I'm going to show that. You know what? I'm going to show it now, and then we have a question from the audience.
How are you doing? Look at the future. You can show.
Ooh, no, it's not too technical. I have a very large screen here.
Amazing. Yes, this is my Instagram. Wow, look at that. Okay.
I know I have to. Here we go. Ready?
Yes. Thank you. Oh wow.
Oh shit! It really zoomed. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow.
I love it.
It's like my first time watching this on another screen.
I love it. Tell you, the sandwich is my favorite. I know it's not full screen, but is this video? But
really all good. This is so. I'm like wearing the glasses I was wearing this video.
Is the video elsewhere besides?
So it's on Rizzle. It's on Rizzle, and it's on TikTok, and it's also on Instagram. And friends of mine do this show that's called, I think it's called Stupid Music Videos. That's so bad of me to not actually know the full name, but it's called Stupid Music Videos. And basically, they come together with an artist. We write it. It takes like 2 days, and then we film it. So it's a 3-day process. And that was kind of really inspiring because I was like, oh, we should be out here making content. What are we doing? Again, like, where's the album?
Right.
And kind of just allow yourself to just commit to making content.
It's not easy.
I mean, trust me.
Well, you need a team. I think the team is very important. Like, to make it alone is just not worth it even, you know?
Well, I think even watching them, so again, like this is their baby, and I was thankful enough to like have the brainchild with them to go, okay, cool, like this is what we're gonna write about. Okay, ooh, like at 2 a.m. I eat a ham sandwich. I don't give a fuck about indigestion. Don't need your sleep help suggestions, you know. And I'm thinking about and riffing, and like the training and the use of doing songwriting was like obviously very helpful for all of that. But even them filming about the behind the scenes and then like the downloads of it, it's like, don't put your product straight out. Like, shoot the little bits of it and release that content and then slowly release everything at the same time. And I'm like, oh, this is a whole new world. But again, like allowing myself to be in that place and like them giving me the opportunity to do that was like, oh, I'm capable of this. Absolutely. Yes. We should.
What was I missing all this time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first, like, I feel like 5 minutes of us shooting, I was like, these words, we wrote them last night. Am I really saying that I'm a bad bitch? It's like, yeah, you are.
It's weird from first person, right?
Yeah. No, so, once you hop into it, though, you're like, oh, I love this. More cameras, please.
And someone else telling you that this is good material outside of yourself makes you committed to doing it, too. Right? So if I'm writing the song in my house, I could record it and do everything. But then it's like the steam goes away unless you have everyone amping each other.
Yeah, I to what you're saying about having a group of creatives and people or just friends even looking at your stuff. So like I had written these 1-minute songs during COVID for a comedy competition that was like for freestyle rappers. And I literally do comedy more than freestyle rapping, but that's like, they kind of go in hand with the songwriting. So I was like, great, I can do this. And I went to perform it and it bombed. Like it bombed horribly. But then I released the song separately or to friends and they were like, oh, this is great. Like, I think they just didn't get what you were going for. Like full on characters. I like had a mustache painted on. It was silly.
Cool.
But again, it's like about knowing your audience, knowing what you're going for. And then also just being like proud of the content you're creating. I think too, is like, I'm just committed to this thing I'm doing. And not that it doesn't matter, but as long as I like it, I'm putting it out there for people and we'll see how it goes.
You should see some of the things on TikTok, you know?
I've unfortunately gotten stuck in those holes, and I'm like, oh wow, it's 2 a.m. and I am still here.
That's bad. TikTok is bad like that. I don't know what, what is
I
that?
mean, yeah, I don't know, but as I talk to a bunch of young casting directors, they're like, get on TikTok, do all the things, like start hashtagging everything, which also I do feel like it feels inauthentic to me in a ways, but if you want to unpack that, we can.
Yeah.
I really, I'm learning that I really miss like the human interaction, the human element of it, like of the one-on-one kind of socialization of it. But we're working through it.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, the kids probably don't even realize what they're missing.
It's so true. It's so funny. It's like, this is just what the world that they'll know. But I think I have made, or I'm still making like every effort in COVID to try to make things for myself then. So like even, oh, and also like incredible that you were saying their names, like Breonna Taylor. Like earlier this summer, we started doing social justice work, and I was like, oh, my theater skills can lend themselves to this because I can communicate with people about what's going on in the community. So again, like just trying to carve out even in this time how to be face to face and with people has been like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, we have a voice, and if we don't use it, it goes to waste. So
yeah, and I think as performers too, like even when there are the bad days, it's like we still have like light, and people are looking to us as performers, and artists and activists to really like bring joy and goodness to their days.
wow, you're gonna make me cry here, Raquel.
Okay.
Please,
No.
okay?
Try to make you smile. Just try to make you smile.
Yeah,
like,
right. You make me cry instead.
Just
we have
get prophetic and deep. You know how it goes.
This
on
is a therapy
Thursday.
session that was this week.
Yeah, I mean, the energy this week was truly nuts, but here
Today
we are.
it's a full moon, by the way. Let me just
Yes,
tell
it's a
you
full
that.
moon in Leo. I don't know if anyone cares about all that, but
Too much, too much.
yeah.
We have a question. I'm going to put it on the
Ooh,
screen.
yes.
I don't know if that's
Would
something
you
you're into.
sing something? Would you sing something? Okay. Do you want to give me a suggestion of something, and I'll make up a song about it?
Wolf Moon. Oh, happy birthday, Ed, the person who just signed on. I think it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Ed.
Ed.
And then Rodriguez Lopez asked that question. And Rodriguez Lopez, do you have a request?
Yeah, do you have a request for like a song? Does he want a song, or does he want?
She's just asked if you could sing.
If I could sing.
Non-binary.
What I've been singing lately. Oh gosh, you always got to be prepared. Thanks so much. Great show. Okay.
Sing the comments.
Yeah, I know exactly. All right. I'm trying to think of like what I've even been listening to lately. With an interesting guest. Thank you so much. And 60s.
Maybe whatever comes, whatever. I guess first of all, what genre do you like to sing? Let's start there.
Honestly, I'll sing you anything, but I like brought like show tunes pretty much.
Do you like Rent?
Sure, yes, it was just the 25th anniversary. Okay, but I will quickly do this is my dream male role. If I could ever play Collins, I will quickly do the I'll Cover You reprise.
Okay, give it to us.
Live in my house, I'll be your shelter, just pay me back with 1,000 kisses, be my lover, and I'll cover you, yeah. Open your door, I'll be your tenant. Don't got much baggage to lay at your feet, but sweet kisses I've got to spare. I'll be there and I'll cover you. Oh, I think they meant it when they said you can't buy love. Now I know you can rent it. A new lease, you are my love on life. Oh, my life. So I long to discover something as true as this is. So with 1,000 sweet kisses, I'll cover you with 1,000 sweet kisses. I'll cover you with 1,000 sweet kisses. Oh, lover, I'll cover you.
Ooh.
Why not? Why not?
Oh my God.
But
I got chills. You saw me like this the whole time.
And
I had
actors
chills.
for bears. I'm like, oh, what? Thank you guys so much.
I know they're clapping from their desk.
Sure. No, I always that's a role that I would literally love to play. I mean, it changes the narrative quite a bit, honestly. Make them two women lovers. Fine, sure. But
well, you could produce yourself. Why not?
That is fair. That is so fair. I just always wanted to. I think it's like a low E flat or something. I'm like, I know it's in my range to be like, so. in high school, I played. I'll never forget. I played a gentleman character. In quotes. Gender is dead, but in quotes, I played a soldier in Les Mis, and I was just like behind barricades, like, you at the barricade. Listen to this. You have no chance, and everyone's like, who's that man? It's like range. Range.
No. Who's that man for, girl?
Who's that?
Well, you sounded beautiful.
You
sounded beautiful, and I really felt the emotion. So I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
In a while. Thank you, guys.
Well, we could see you still have it in you, the musical improv. You just brought it out. I think Rent also, if you have a special place for Rent, I know my friends who love it will sing it to the skies that play.
Yeah.
Musical,
sure.
Excuse me.
Please.
I am wearing a turtleneck. It's very fitting for the theater.
It is also very fitting for the cold right now. It's freezing.
It is quite freezing, isn't it? Isn't it?
But yeah,
thank you. And yeah,
that's the husband of this theater woman who's like, you gotta have,
you gotta do it. You gotta have it.
For sure.
That was beautiful. Thank you. I'm still a little emotional from the prior stuff for the song and then the quote before. So,
literally, every day.
You're just a well of knowledge, as they say.
I try to be. I don't know. I'm just trying this life. You just gotta do it every day by day. Yesterday, or literally earlier today, that I was like, what am I doing? And I was like, oh, no, it's great. I've got friends. You just need a group of people again around to support you and be like, it's going well. We're in a pandemic. If you feel
need people, that's right.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not alone. People, and if you feel alone in your room.
And for the show too. I'm like, oh, wow.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited to have you on. When you agreed, I was like, oh my God, please. But then I was like, we'll just be off track the whole time. I'm glad we're kind of on track now.
It's there's room to diverge. There's room for tangents. Truly, whatever. Not whatever, but
Yeah, but our tangents really go, to the dark side of humanity. We investigate humanity in all shapes, forms, right?
As art is want to do. You know what I mean?
People are like, what are you talking about? Tripping out right now.
Sorry, you guys got to come to the coffee shop. We'll plug the link. This is all honestly brought to you by.
That's the problem, is we never have enough time to hang out. That's really the problem.
That is true.
Obviously. So what are some of your other favorite shows?
My other favorite shows that I'm watching now on TV.
Oh, musical or musical or a play.
I love Passing Strange. Passing Strange is a beautiful musical. I don't know. Do you know the show?
No, I don't.
Passing Strangers is a beautiful musical about a young man who's trying to find himself and then truly like leaves and travels and kind of has his like Jack Kerouac kind of hero's journey almost triumphantly in Europe and then in Amsterdam, always trying to find home and who he is, but then gets back home and realizes home is where your heart is, where you are, of course. But I think it was powerful to see when I was younger, because I was like, oh yeah, young Black people can tell these narratives. You know, we're always kind of seeing the same faces play these roles and seeing the same narratives being told, you know, of like, you know, youth stories or coming of age stories. But I'd never saw myself in them truly and honestly. And then I saw this show and it was kind of punk rock. It's by this band called Stu and the Negro Problem. And I'm like, oh, what is going on? And it's so fun. I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm edgy and weird, you know, and so just more of that. Just like interested too, I guess, in anything kind of pushing the edge and like retelling narratives in forms that people who traditionally haven't been able to see themselves can now see themselves, which is always so powerful and fun.
Congratulations. What a crazy world. I mean, in general, it's crazy, but it's been crazy. Like,
yeah,
what reality.
It's been pretty nuts. And then like I grew up on Long Island. That's just where the background is. So I grew up with a lot of baggage around whiteness and understanding what being a Black woman even meant and all of that. So I think, again, to be able to see yourself in art is like so important and so valuable. And so when I saw that musical, I was like, oh my God, yes, there's space for me.
Oh, please. There's
no
so much space.
before, but I was like busy trying to play like Cinderella or like I was trying to book a white blonde role and I'm like, that's not I'm like,
yeah.
but I'm like, I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah,
put a wig on.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, trying to like fit the wig over my hair. Like, it's just not going. Something is not going. What's happening?
Do a skit like that. That's funny.
Oh no, I mean, I should put it out there and talk about it, but I kind of want to do Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, but like with 2 Black women. I mean, it would have like a dark ending, obviously, because the Black woman would go to jail. But like, because like, you know, think of like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. You know, this is so specific and so niche. But anyway,
I love that.
Yes, this is what the thought and the brain process.
You write it down though, right?
Yeah, no, I haven't. Listen, I have it written out. I would like to shoot it. So, yeah, any young, fun Black women out there, artists listening to this who'd like to also perform in it, let me know. Slide into the
I'll
DMs.
put out the casting call. Just put it on Instagram, you know?
Absolutely. But yeah, so that was kind of the first show I feel like I saw that I was like, oh, I really see myself in this. And then lately, there's been this whole beautiful Afrofuturism push with Lovecraft Country to just like be able to see, again, Black voices and Black narratives told in ways that we haven't seen them before. So it's so fun. It's so exciting. So I'm like, oh, yes, I'm going to jump through portals in space and time. I want powers. Oh my God, give me powers.
Yeah.
Of course.
Is that happening? I didn't see that. That's what's happening. That's cool.
Oh, sorry. Spoilers. But like,
no, I love it.
No spoilers, but spoilers. But yeah, no, definitely watch it. It's on HBO. It's also got a Black showrunner, so that's pretty cool. There's like, I think there's a lot of movement and greatness happening in storytelling for POC writers and specifically like Black storytellers. And there's a lot of great momentum and goodness happening. And I know diversity in casting too, which is pretty fucking awesome.
So you're an activist too. I mean, I should have listed that as one of your titles, but Facilitator of Magic was is similar. So that's okay.
Well, the Facilitator of the Magic title honestly comes from the fact that, so again, like pre-COVID, I was working as a company manager and a producer and like a late night correspondent for theaters and for shows like comedy clubs and stuff, just doing whatever to make shit happen. That's like kind of what I was doing. I was working, at the Public Theater, kind of getting artists.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. I love the Public.
Yeah. I worked for them for 3 years and it was a crazy wild ride. I think Joey is here. I think if they're still here, I worked with them at the Public Theater. And that was kind of my first, I feel like, foray into this world, I guess, just of arts in general and being like, oh, it is possible. I can carve a life out for myself in this theater thing. I can, like, in this arts world, I can figure that all out. I was able to, once I graduated from college, I got a fellowship, and I worked with an artist who, like, so, like, my background is all over the place, but mainly in writing and, like, devised theater and comedy and improv somehow. And so I got to work with her on a piece called Jack Ann that was about mass incarceration, and this one gentleman who she had seen play Ma Rainey in a prison, she saw him and was like, he played Ma Rainey, like, you know, the lead character, and she's like, this is art. Like, the main theaters are really missing this. Like, this is art. So she worked with him on a show about his dreams while he was in prison, and I helped them kind of arrange it while at residencies, and then from there worked on another project with them about children, immigrants that they had met and done theater with. So again, yeah, I'm like, I guess so. I guess I am an art activist.
You just don't put it together, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm adding all of these pieces now. I'm like, oh yeah, like, yeah, and with that, again, I was able to, like, work on these incredible shows and then also travel again. I, like, got to go to Abu Dhabi and NYU Abu Dhabi and work with them there and, like, learn again. Those are built and the engineering of all of it, and, like, kind of work with some of the brightest minds to build these toys. Not toys specifically, but toys for the theater we were using to enhance the show, which was, again, incredible. Then I came back and started, as I'm, like, knocking everything off on my counter. I'm like, oh, it's so crazy. And then I
just throw it.
And I feel like I've always toggled between, like, managerial things and, like, knowing how to organize someone else's artistic life, and then being like, what is my artistic journey? And that was when I started traveling more with improv and comedy in that capacity, and then came back and worked as a program assistant and was, like, helping arrange international travel and people's shows and learning what and how any of that gets put together. And then I got to produce my own, like, late night New York show, which was amazing. So this is all literally January of 2020, and I was, like, ready for a theatrical career, just, like, blossom. And then life.
You took the blonde wig.
Oh, the blonde wig off. The blonde wig came off. My wig was snatched by life, girl. My wig was snatched.
And you were ready.
The whole wig came off.
And then everything came and crashed.
Yeah, it came crashing down. I was, like, I was doing more musical improv. I had come back from London and was, like, in a car with my mom, and I was sobbing, and she was like, what's wrong? How was your trip? And I was like, it's all over. I could feel it, because we were there in England, and, like, all the newspapers were saying, like, COVID hits the UK and this and that and this. And I was like, I had this sense. I was like, I'm supposed to go do, the Fringe Festival, and I'm supposed to go travel some more, and I have all these plans, and I could feel life being like, no, that's not what's happening. But again,
you couldn't see it. You felt it, but you couldn't see it. I
felt it. I was like, ooh. But then I decided to take that energy, and still am, day in and day out, just trying to figure out, okay, great. Well, what are, like, just, like, shifting it and being like, okay, well, I know there are other people who are also trying to create, and I know there are other people who have comedic ideas they want to work on. Like, what are they doing, and how can I still do that? I know that, I grew up in a racist town on Long Island, and I would love to facilitate some change through my facilitating of magic in that capacity. How can I talk to police commissioners? Like, like, really just trying to weave in any sort of magic and any sort of, again, performance and, I guess, joy in places that I'm like, where can I get in and, like, kind of serve this mission of just, like, making people smile, laugh, and feel great.
It's hard because as a performer, as a struggling artist, we're always struggling. Even when you're successful, you're struggling, right? To keep going, right? So we have so much value in us because of our experience, but we're present. And we're kind of humble. I don't even know what that means, but we've been through a lot. We have so much experience in our field, and we feel like we should be more well established, but you don't realize how established you actually are, because you know what I mean? Like, we're only in ourselves, really. And just because I'm vocalizing this, we're realizing it. But you're having your team show up for you on this thing right now. So you're already seen in the field. I'm already seen in the field. But you had a long day, you're tired.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel motivated. I don't feel motivated. And you're human, and it's hard because especially artists, we feel more. You feel so much. And that makes you a stronger artist. So it's a good thing.
The waves of feelings is just like, ooh, and I'll even talk to customers too that come in and I'm like, oh, I am truly feeling everything you were saying about how your day is going and how your child is dealing with being on school online, and just like really trying to navigate any of that is also so interesting. But again, I'm like really trying to fine tune to be like, how can we move that into craft? It's always working. The cogs are always spinning. But yeah.
And that's another thing, we have to work, right? So sometimes, I mean, if you want to work overtime, you really I don't know what to do because I'm the same way. I'm struggling between getting the paycheck and the dream never goes away, never will. So it's really, where does the paycheck come from, right? So.
Well, it's so crazy. Yeah, it's so crazy. I was, I guess I won't name any names, but I was, on an app trying to network with people. And they were like, just write, just do the craft. And I'm like, I would love to just do the craft. I think everyone would just love to do the craft or have the time, but you need the job. You also
have
need
the rent and the food and the utilities.
You got to pay for things. You got bills, so it is, it definitely is a fine balance. And then again, especially in COVID and what we're in right now and trying to, again, like even just see people is a struggle and an interesting in its own, capacity. Yeah. But again, talks like this, to be able to see you and like talk to you about this and know that there are people who are interested and willing to listen, or even like are also thinking about these things, is uplifting and I think helpful.
We need the reminder, right? I mean, I think this segues into it, but I ask my guests to bring a deep quote or enlightenment experience to share. If you didn't share it already, if you have another one.
Yeah, no. One of my favorite quotes is by Tracy Ellis Ross. I love her very much.
I love her.
And she goes, I was taught to cheer for everyone. I believe there's enough sunshine for everyone. And when I heard that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
Just because, like, I think we grow up in such a competitive society, just in general, of this idea that there's like spots for only one of us, or like there's only one placement for any of us, or like, you got to beat out this person to get to this thing. And I'm kind of like, there is enough sun for everybody. Everybody goes to the beach and gets a tan, or everybody goes to the beach and gets those rays. There's a lot of sun. So it's all about how you're getting it. And then also, if you're not cheering for people, you're not sharing in the goodness that's happening for other people.
But you're not cheering for yourself. It's your reflection.
It's because we're all interconnected too in this way too. I think that quote also reminds you that, like, it's like we are the world, we are the children, but we are. Yeah, that's immediately my brain was like,
request number 2.
All of the children, we are that. Guys.
We are.
But I think that quote just reminds me again, it's like we're all interconnected. And when my friend is winning, or my friend books a job, or my friend recently is in Bed Bath and Beyond in like a 30-foot photo, and I'm like, that's my friend. Like we're out here. My friend is out here. Therefore, I am winning. Therefore, you are winning. Everybody wins. I'm gonna cheer on everyone because there's enough sun for everyone. For everyone.
That's beautiful. I think deeply into it too, because it's so competitive and so annoying. I've been in the industry for like 15 years, a long time. You out the womb.
Yeah, well, when we first met, you were like, yeah, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. I will say, I was like, when we first met, I was like, oh, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah,
you gotta keep moving. You were like,
yeah, but I said it with my eyes crossed. I was like, keep moving. It's hard. But if you think about it on each individual level, because I like to go deep and odd into my thoughts, we had how many choices got us here? Infinite amount of individual choices to this day, right?
Right.
Not one person in the world has the same choices you did. So whatever got them to that door is what just got them to the door. You don't know if they're going to go through it or not. You don't know if you're going to go through it or not. So you need to get to the door, period, Yeah, but it's on a deeper level.
Yeah, and then also, like, I feel like even get the struggle of getting to the door is also, it's just the journey in and of itself. And that's supposed to be, you know, that's the fruitful part. And I think that's like hard to accept sometimes, and especially to now in circumstances that you can't control. You know, like when you can't necessarily be like, oh, I can't, you know, I don't really have control over that. It's like, oh no, it's about the journey, or riding the waves, as a good friend of mine said today. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I will, again, with my eyes crossed. I was like, you're right. I'm just running away. I'm
right in the way.
yeah, you know.
Well, I think that full moon really kicked their asses today, you know. Well, mine at least.
Listen, it's I'll say it's in Leo. It's good. It's about, you know, affirmations. I feel like supported and shining.
Is that
bright.
I love what? Tell me all the Leo.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I get into my witch bag. No, so the moon right now is in Leo. The full moon is in Leo, and yeah, it's about just either feeling supported, or it's basically worthiness is actually the word that I think comes to my mind, and like what your relationship to your worthiness is, and like letting your little light shine, as my friend said. And so just meditating on whatever that is that you are holding and that you have, that lets you kind of shine brighter in this time. Also, full moons are always about like forgiveness and like letting go of anything that you're holding on that's been like negatively affecting you.
Oh,
it's not
easy.
I don't think it's anything bad.
It's not easy to let, like I had a rough day, but it's hard to let go.
Today,
yeah.
Oh, no way, hold my hands through the thing. I had a really rough day too.
I know.
I do. It was a crazy day.
I think, are you in tomorrow? Coming for a hug?
No, yeah, everybody come get coffee, get that quick therapy session with me. No, I'm not. I'm in on the weekend. I'm in on Saturday and Sunday. But I'll pop by. We can get coffee outside. I can sit with you and have coffee tomorrow if you'd like.
That's true. Well, so, just maybe Saturday. We'll hang out separately when possible. We'll talk. That's all I'll say for now. Put it out there. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the thing. Like with this has brought me up so much. I appreciate that, and we do, as artists, we need to come together and channel this energy into things, right?
Right.
I'm a bad bitch. I eat sandwiches. What is the book?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I'm a night bitch. I'm a bad bitch. At 2 a.m. I'll eat a ham sandwich. I will, because I don't care. No, it's so funny. I really, for any of those bars, you know, it's so funny. I think the irony is like, you know, those are just me making bad life decisions at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
Like, everyone does that. Who doesn't do that?
Yeah, I think that's why, honestly, the video with a lot of people personally was like very, like, people were like, oh, that's me. Like, I am that person. And then in the morning, I'm like, oh, wow, I really did all of those things. I can't believe I did that. But, you know,
with the beautiful lighting and everything, the purple and green.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I do feel, sometimes I feel if I make a great meal at night, right before I go to bed, I do feel very impressed. I do feel like, you know, Emerald, or like Gordon Ramsay would be proud, you know, like I do feel, yeah, Salt Bay it up. But yeah, but
I love that video. Yeah, can you where can people follow you? Like, are there links or here on Instagram?
Yeah, sure. I am on Instagram mainly. The website is under construction, but once it's up, it'll be linked in my bio, of course. And yeah, you could add me on Facebook as well. I'm very approachable. You could hit me by email, whatever you'd like, however you'd like to contact me. No, but Instagram, I feel like, is at the moment, the most used platform for me, just to be putting out content and to just be interacting with my peoples.
Can you post the links to that video somewhere?
Oh, sure. Let me see. Yes, I will do that.
You know, you know what you should have. I use it for each of my profiles. A link tree. You know,
a link tree. Fair. Yes, I will do that. Fair.
It's just easy, you know.
I feel like it is.
And free.
I will. if you follow me on Instagram, the link for the video will be in my bio. It's mainly on Rizzle, 4-minute content. So honestly, like that's what it was made for. If you want to like talk about the process of shooting that video, which was truly interesting, I feel like.
Yeah.
It was just a team of people. We worked together on like what the look would be like and what the vibe was, and then just a lot of fun improvising with ham sandwiches and just a lot of like, what can we call back? How can we make this funny? What is funny about these things? You know, maybe doing a little bit of like a little sleight of hand. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of fun. And then also we shot it for, if I'm being realistic about time, I think we shot it for like 4 hours, and again the video was a minute. So
Wow.
You know, it is a lot of work went into making that video, and I think the product does show that. But it was again, it was very fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend, but do it over and over again. So
well, you have another one coming, so
I definitely do. For sure.
Whenever you're ready, we're ready when you're ready.
Yeah, to drop more music, comedy content here for you all, and then the album, and then it's sounding like we need to collaborate on a song or two. That's what it's sounding like.
I am ready.
Are you?
Ready.
Okay.
With no Y at the end, with a D.
Okay, with a D or with an I?
Just
Ready.
D. There's no end letter.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Okay, I'm ready. You know what? I'm going to write it down because that's how things happen, really, right?
Realistically, yeah, or through emails, sending the emails.
Okay. But first, I need a hug.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, it was a hard day. Anyone listening, if you had a hard day, like, be kind to yourself. Go drink some tea. Literally, just go sit and breathe for like a good minute. Which is a long time. That's a minute is a long time to just be taking breaths in and out through your mouth.
And focusing, right?
Yeah, and just sitting and
through your nose too.
Yeah, for sure. Because today was long. The energy was weird, but happy you're all here. I'm happy you're all like creating and thinking about how you can be bringing joy to your lives.
Thank you, my facilitator of magic. I appreciate you joining.
Anytime. Thank you for having me. You're amazing, and I'll be on for the next one when we launch a video together.
Yes. Thank you, Raquel. I love you so much, and
I love you too. I'll see you so soon.
Yes,
Literally.
You know you will.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Is Raquel not the best ever? Thank you, everyone, for joining. I see she had a lot of visitors. I see I had my friends visit. Hi, everyone. Hi, Brown. I see you there. Wow, Elena, Margaret. Happy birthday, Ed, again. And Tara. Hey, everyone. There's too many people. Rodriguez Lopez, Joe, Jesse, Mom. I love everyone. Thank you for visiting. I could do the shadow all day. I love you guys. See you next Thursday. Please, yes, as Raquel said, take care of yourself, self-care, deep breaths. Go take a nice shower and relax, or a bath if you got one. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. And see you next week. Love and blessings.